recently. You've had a recent success with the conference, and you've got one coming up, and the world's got a lot of different opportunities right now. We just did an event a week or two ago about Japan, Australia, primarily, what the opportunities are. And that was fascinating to see some of the things that are going on there. So I'm sure we'll touch on those and other topics. So thank you for pulling us together today.
No, pleasure. And we wanted to do this for a while. From this part of the world, we feel very different time zone. And because of that, becomes little challenge. But if this time suits everybody, that will be great. And we will be doing more regular representing Global Chamber from the Australian side, Australia Pacific region. That's where I belong, and that's what I represent. Our business is, those who don't know, I'm Priya Mishra. We run Corporality, and we organize B2B Global Conference to prepare. This is the platform where we are inviting B2B businesses to come and explore this part of the world, where Oceanic region is actually conceived 18 different countries of this, but majorly 14 countries, and there are a lot of opportunity in this region, which is untouched and unexplored, right? And I know it looks so far away from other part of the world, but it is a beautiful zone. Tourism is awesome, obviously, but other than that, they are like New Caledonia. They are actually nickel provider in the 4th number in the world. It's such a tiny island. So I believe we should actually give this opportunity to bring the people to know what is happening and what are the opportunities are. And that's why we created the B2B Global Conference. And thank you for supporting Global Chamber at that event. Doug message was amazing. People started asking me about the Global Chamber, people who were not aware about it, which is good, I guess.
Definitely good.
Yeah. So everybody's asking, what is this thing you are involved with? And I'm like, yeah. So I'm feeling that joy to explain what is this thing, and how big we are and where we are present, and how the Doug's vision is unstoppable, so amazing.
How do you imagine this next 55 minutes to go? Do we have some presenters lined up?
Yeah,
How
so
do
I'll
the
be
attendees
presenting.
get involved?
Sure. I'll be presenting a little bit about the B2B conference and the opportunity in Pacific region. Also, we will be first, before I kick off, I would like ask everybody to introduce themselves for 30 seconds, if that's okay, Doug. I think we have time for that.
Sounds great.
Sure. So we can start with Larry.
All right. Well, hello, everybody. I'm Larry Shaw. I'm the Chief Engagement Officer at ID Care. I'm based out of our Sydney office. ID Care is a charity organization operating in Australia and New Zealand. We provide protection when you have become the victim of a data breach or different types of cyber incidents. We have a number of packages and products that are pay to play for corporates and government organizations, and we use the profits that we make from those partnerships to make our services available to individuals who find themselves victims of identity theft and cyber scams at no charge to them. Our services, in a very brief nutshell, involve getting to talk to a real person who we call a case manager, who will help you develop an individual response plan based on what you have experienced to help you minimize the harm of what has happened to you as quickly as possible. And we offer some escalatory services at no charge to individuals, including what we call cyber first aid. If you have had a device that's been compromised, we have experts who will cleanse that device of any malware that bad actors have put on it. We issue a certificate of completion when that process is done that all the major banks in Australia and New Zealand will actually accept to get you access back to a bank account you may have been locked out of because of bad behavior by malicious actors. And we've just launched a new service called Cyber Psychology. We have a team of cyber psychologists who can work with people who have usually experienced a high volume financial loss or become victims of a romance scam, who are perhaps threatening self-harm, for example, and we can get a free session with them to give you practical coping skills and strategies for longer-term self-care. So we're really proud of the work we've been doing. We just celebrated our 10-year anniversary. I have been here for 5 whole months, so I'm still getting my feet under the desk, but proud to be working on this mission and happy to share more information with anybody interested. I can put our I'll put our URL in the chat. And thank you for letting me be here.
Thank you, Larry. And maybe we'll organize your presentation to get to know more about your initiatives. I think this is going to be very, very beneficial for all of us. I mean, whosoever is touching any internet, any cyber thing, which is like almost everybody, will be benefiting with that, I guess. That's my assumption. Yeah. Thank you. I'll move on to the next one. John Kennedy is there?
Sure. So John Kennedy. So I am a mental performance coach and trainer. Basically, what I do is based on core of a program the Department of Defense contracted me to develop back in 2007. So I've been fortunate to work with Marines, Navy SEALs, snipers, and now I work with high performers in the business world as well as professional athletes. In fact, one of my clients just played in the Olympics. I'm working with a college basketball team now. They're playing tonight. Looking forward to them winning. First time ever for start to a season. But then I also work with the other end of the spectrum. So I work with depression, concussions, Alzheimer's, kids with ADHD and autism. I mean, we've had tremendous success with that program. So basically, I do that to help the brain. If our brains are more efficient, then everything we do is more efficient. I've developed a way that we can change any habit in your life in 30 minutes or less. Sounds unbelievable, but we can do it. Same principles of neuroplasticity. And then I also do process consulting work. So we put all 3 of those together. I work with individuals as well as large corporations.
Yeah, great. You never know these days, collaboration is happening on the weird place. I heard there is a paint company is collaborating with a lipstick, the fashion company. So it's amazing gonna go, and we will figure out how we can collaborate, find the collaboration opportunity, matchmaking, which Caesar is very good at. I'm sure it will happen eventually. Anita.
Hello, everyone. Anita Rodal, President of SBPI Services. I represent 3 of the world's largest non-bank foreign exchange companies. I save importers money and time on their cross-border payments, so I am always looking to help U.S. companies who are importing from Australia. I also broker payable financing for those same U.S.-based importers. On another note, if you need help with your elevator pitch, please visit aboutyourelevatorpitch.com for information about my corporate webinars. Anita Rodal, SBPI Services.
Great. Good to know. I'm sure there are a lot of new businesses, especially they are interested in finding out how to pitch. Caitlin.
Hi, everyone. I am the branch manager for Main Freight here in Phoenix in Arizona, but Main Freight is founded in New Zealand, and they have over 60 different offices in Australia. So we provide warehousing, logistics, end-to-end 3PL for the supply chain. And as a licensed broker here in Arizona, I am very familiar with helping Australian companies get their footing in the US, understand all of the regulations for importing various food products or various other mechanical, aerospace, any types of products that come through from Australia. We can provide that end-to-end warehousing once you get into the US. And same for the reverse exports from the US to Australia. We can provide that backup service for you.
Great. Good to know. And next one is Ash.
Hi, Ash from with Stellar Consulting. So I'm basically a business coach working to help small, medium businesses to scale domestically and internationally. I'm based in Melbourne, in Australia, and predominantly work with service-based companies that and business owners that have got a successful business model but hit some growing pains and now want to expand further.
Right. So you are mainly the expansion coach. Is that the right way to put it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great. Good to know. And next is AD.
You mean Eddie?
Yeah, Eddie.
Hi. My name's
Sorry
Eddie.
about my pronunciation. Apology.
No, it's okay. I just wanted to make sure you were calling on me. My name is Eddie Geisel. I'm the vice chair of the Arizona District Export Council. We work with Arizona companies that are exporting in all different fashions and in different different parts of growth. I'm also the founder and CEO of Prana Global, where I have a end-to-end consulting service for companies that are looking to scale either from the US into Australia or from Australia into the US. I see there's a lot of other consultants on this call. I'd love to chat with you because I have a lot of clients that are looking for your services. I'd be happy to do work with you.
Right. I'm sure Eddie and Ash can communicate together, I guess. And we can also communicate Eddie and Ash with you as well as. All right. Thank you. Josie Georges. You there, Josie? Hi, looks like voice is not coming. I'll move on. Josie, can you fix your voice, I guess? Sue?
Hi, Priya. Hi, Doug.
Hi.
And Suzanne.
Hello.
Nice to see you. And good to meet everyone in the group. So I was supporting the London GC team earlier this year. So I've recently returned to Sydney, which is great. And my background's in L&D and coaching. So I would also be happy to reach out to any of you if you have any project-based work that you're looking to bring in some coaching resources into your business. So yeah, that's me.
Thank you, Sue. Josie, we are coming back to you.
It's just so we're make sure. I think all of you. I recommend all of you to put your full name. So Sue is actually Sue Lim, and so Sue, thank you so much for your leadership, and great to see you back on the ground down under. Thank you for joining today.
Thanks, Doug.
Sorry to interrupt. Please go ahead, Josie.
Yes, do you hear me?
We can, but we can't see you.
Okay, I just wanted to check first the microphone.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on, please.
Go on.
Okay,
Josie,
hi.
go on. Hi.
Yes.
Yay.
I think she's frozen. We'll come back to Josie again. We have a lot of people to cover, I guess. We have already. Josie, you are there?
Yes. And I'm on
keep
video.
going on. Introduce yourself, please. Yeah.
Yes, I'm a spiritual and a business coach under the name of Red Chaperon Coaching. That is to help. Yes, that is to help domestic and international entrepreneurs to strengthen the soft skills and tools to develop the venture. Tools I mainly mean a business plan, especially for those who are coming into the America. So this is with a spiritual approach because since we're working on the soft skills, it's things that are meant to be worked on daily basis. So when entrepreneurs are agreed to put holistic interest into their business venture, or so it's a good place to team to work on.
Sure. It's important to have actually, it's important to have a soft skill for sure. Where are you located?
Montreal.
Montreal. Okay, good to know. Thank you. We'll move on to the next one. And Thierry Leving.
Terry,
Yes.
are you there?
Yep, please.
Hello, Australia. This is Salt Lake City, Utah, Park City, calling Australia, Melbourne, Sydney, Canberra, Perth. You know this. You have guessed that we have an Australian club here, and we are here in Salt Lake City. Well, I'm Thierry Levine. I'm a consultant in national trade. I help international people to bring their products here. I'm a mentor for French-speaking African refugees for the AFC, creating restaurants, photography, movies, music, cinema. I'm an entrepreneur working with the tourism industry. So I work here with Quebec and Southern France, you know, beautiful ski resorts and national parks we have in the state of Utah. I'm pretty much following everything about tourism in the world. So we have an excellent global tourism group with many people in Australia that shows me on Zoom the beautiful country, from the outbacks to the kangaroos to the coral reef. I'm also a marketing photographer. Basically, I'm basically here the point of contact to helping you develop a business in the western part of the US. But in a nutshell.
Thank you. The voice was very low, but I would suggest everybody to please put the details on the LinkedIn and as other connection details so that you guys can continue connections. And we will also find the matchmaking as Seeger always does after every event. We find out if there is any possible collaboration. We introduce each other. So that's the strength of Global Chamber, as we all are aware about, that we are very good connectors. And you will be finding it more happening, you know, from this part of the world as well. So we are moving on to the next segment. Going forward in the future, there will be always a presenter. So this was the first one. So I decided to bring my initiative, which is I'm doing on the B2B, and we will organize every event we will find a new presenter to bring the new values and new understanding about the members' strength, to be honest, and how because that will be a spotlight and showcasing. So as I've already shared my details on the LinkedIn and the event. The event was all about B2B Global. We call it Global B2B Conference. And the reason we have started this one, because the idea was to create a platform similar to the Global Chamber to bring together the different businesses. Last year, when we actually presented on 25th of October, the theme was actually focused to the professional services manufacturers. And this year, we are actually focusing import-export, overall GTM, go-to-market concept. So what we understand as a go-to-market aspect is that when you are actually working on a go-to-market, you just don't need a marketing aspect. We do need support from the import-export. You do need support from the shipping distributors, you know, security aspect. You know, identity theft is a very big problem when people travel overseas and they don't have enough documentation and all that is done. So there are so many issues which we would like to actually address on that particular platform on whole day conference. So what we are offering international delegates to come, and we have been reaching out to the international community through the chamber from India, from Japan, from Mexico, from US, from Europe, wherever people are. They can come and bring their business here. And what we will do, we will invite people for looking at your product, creating the collaboration opportunity, and showcasing your business to this local market. And if we can facilitate to establish your foot on this ground, we will be there to help you throughout your journey. So that's the whole motive of this B2B Global Conference. And as I said, GTM is a theme. So obviously import-export is one of the key aspects. So what we are planning to bring and invite import-export people to come and talk about their aspect, warehousing, storage, distribution, shipping, logistic, technology company. Impex is one of our leader in Australia who has technology support, because when you are shipping something, you want to trace every documentation, every move of your product or container from the international market, and the technology company helps. So those kind of people I want to bring on one platform so that you guys can shake hand and understand, and they will be presented. There will be a different sponsors and exhibitor. We are targeting 350 people this time. If your support will be there, that I think it is very much possible. And Doug always says that, be unstoppable, go global. So that's what I'm actually following. I'm a big follower of Doug. So I'm literally seeking out the help. How, is it okay if I share the delegate package here and how it is gonna work in a slideshow?
I think summarizing it makes sense. Sure.
Yeah.
So this, what you're talking about is the conference that's next May.
It's in June, 6th of June.
June. And you've done this how many times? Because you've done it a few times, right?
You have done it. I've been doing a small scale last 10 years, but last 4 years I've gone big. So, first year, just after COVID, when we did the big one, we invited nearly 400 people in that. It was 2 days conference. Then we did another one for 3 days conference, which has 500 people. And last time we did 1 days, which has like 200 people joining, and 30 people actually exhibited and sponsors.
Okay. What do you see as the end result? What would the value be for anyone here in this room to attend, and also anyone we would invite?
So when when people are coming to my event, I am bringing people together. So what is happening? Like last year, some of the attendees even came in the last event. They found 2 of the exhibitors. They can be a very good collaboration. And I have helped them last week only to sign up a proper contract to collaborate with each other. The partnership is going on. The business, there was one company was from the Perth, and they wanted to collaborate somebody from Sydney itself, right? So it's like not just the international, national, it's also interstate collaboration is happening. The whole idea is actually you create your positioning here in Australia or any Pacific region. And if you want to expand, you want to meet people. So say if any delegates are coming, we are promising, and if I'm allowed, I can share my screen and I can showcase my delegate package. What I'm helping businesses that if they will come to our event, we will be helping them to actually meet a lot of people here, and we will set an appointment for you. So suppose you are actually coming and exhibiting here, we will make sure if you are taking our silver, we will make sure at least 1 connection, 2 connections you are actually establishing here to distribute your product or sell your product or establish a new market. Whatever is your goal will help you to achieve it. So that's the outcome I'm trying to create here.
Sounds good. Well, my suggestion is, let's summarize the high level, and then let's keep moving around the room, because I know there's some people, like even Eddie is in the call here. He's done a number of these events on both sides. I think on both sides. I'm not sure. Maybe he hasn't done it in Australia, but he's involved Australian companies on the US side and understands the value of the connections that you're talking about.
Right. So, whenever you will be coming, you will be getting as I said, pre-arranged one-to-one meeting I'll be doing. So I'll be literally handpicking. So if exporter is coming, what exactly they are looking for by spending this money and coming all the way from the overseas. They definitely want to establish a business connection, and we'll make sure it will happen, so
Okay.
not just bringing the crowd and they come and walk and they just share some card and finish. We want to make sure that it is worth coming, right? That's our total goal. But I'm open for any further question and anybody else to share their views on this.
Fantastic. Thank you. And congratulations on the success you've created already, and looking forward to that conversation as well. Are there particular market segments and particular opportunities beyond the broad concept of exporting? Like, again, going back to Eddie, I know he's been involved in the mining industry. Are there particular market segments that are either focused in on or should be considered? Priya, are there any particular, or okay?
Yeah. So there are opportunities on all aspects. Like Australian market is actually manufacturing. I'm inviting a lot of manufacturers as well. So when we say who wants to import export, right? So mainly the import export happens from Australian aspect. Import export is happening either in the agriculture, either it is on the manufacturing side. Aqua farming is actually quite popular from here, and and on top of that, you can also explore the tourism. It's a beautiful country for sure. But we have, Australian manufacturers are struggling to collaboration opportunity given the distance from the people. So we can actually facilitate that way. And mining is, one of our strength from this part. So obviously we can bring that kind of a collaboration as well. So we are trying to bring whosoever will be interested in export import, whosoever will be looking for the logistic aspect, the shipping aspect, technology exploration. Some people need, one of our sponsor, which he agrees to come, they are consultant if you want to export something from Australia. So if you have collaboration here in Australia and you are looking for someone consulting you, how entire paperwork, we can help you with that. So, we have a lot of opportunity coming up on that platform.
Doug, do you mind if I just add a few things? That's absolutely
yes,
all correct. Some other things to consider in Australia. One is just its proximity to the whole APEC market. It's a very safe market to conduct business in, cost effective compared to the US and Canada. And you have direct access to many huge markets. So setting up shop in Australia is a really, really smart idea if that's the part of the world you want to expand in. In terms of technology coming from the US, well, in Australia right now, there's a big push for space, given Australia's proximity in the world. So space and all space-related business is moving over to Australia a lot. There's also a big push for quantum computing. A very huge contract was just won by a company out of Palo Alto, expanding into Queensland for quantum computing. As you said, agribusiness and specifically beef is a huge, huge market over there. And then here in the US and Canada, is just specific to mining. There's a big need for mining technology, everything from automation, AI-driven automation, sensing, and Australia is the world's leader, especially in Queensland, for creating this type of technology with partnerships between the largest miners in the world, the universities and the public sector. There's just a great ecosystem for technology that we help a lot of companies from that part of the world come over here to the US and Canada and Mexico and even down south into South America. So a lot of really good reciprocal opportunities going both ways.
And also the deep tech is huge money is going from the R&D sector Meditech, I mean, medical research, everybody knows there are a lot of good medical research is happening from Australia and expanding towards the world. So it's a huge opportunity there as well.
Eddie, are you still involved in the mining industry? What's your other involvements with Australia?
Yeah, mostly mining and energy. There's a big crossover in technology between mining and oil and gas and also sustainable energy. So whether it's wind turbines, water, there's just a lot of overlap. The big push in the world right now is, getting to carbon neutral by a date, right? So in mining, it's getting carbon neutral by 2050 with a huge reduction in carbon emissions by 2035. So in order to do that, there's a huge push for this type of technology that's created a lot in Australia. Of course, there's a lot of it created here in the US. So, bilateral movement of technology is big in mining. Just like everything, automation, AI, being able to have real-time insights on what's going on in an operation rather than having to wait. So there's tons of opportunity for technology imports and exports in that area. Some of the challenges that companies out of Australia have coming here is understanding regulations. So there's definitely an export compliance piece. There's challenges around supply chain. There's challenges whenever you do export around the world. There's challenges with service and serviceability. So setting up some type of follow the sun service in whatever market you're going to. Australia is excellent at that. They're used to being kind of in their own little part of the world. So they're very good at setting up, when they export, setting up this type of service around the world. I don't know if I'm answering your question, Doug. I could go on and on and on, but just right now, the biggest challenge in export anywhere is understanding the rules of whatever market people are trying to enter. So I know there's a lot of people on this call that can help with that. I push for all of us to kind of collaborate and create really good ecosystems for exporters to get information. It's really frustrating for exporters when they don't know where to go. And they might go to the US Commercial Service. There's certain information you can get from the US Commercial Service when wanting to go over to Australia, but it's limited. So we can help.
Yeah.
Eddie, I agree with everything you said. Mainfreight, as a company, we have the largest allocation of ocean space moving weekly down to Oceania. So we see a huge number of shipments going down to Oceania and then the reverse with the trade up north on a weekly basis, and it's a lot of the wine and the perishables that are coming back up. And then it's going to be a lot of the renewable energy, for example. We do heavy imports because it's not produced locally in Australia. And then to go from that, the mining industry as well. A lot of people don't realize how many associated companies are related to the mining industry that are here in Arizona. So for example, a water pump manufacturer is associated with mining. We work with companies that do specialized fire extinguishers for down in the mines. There's companies that do the chemicals that keep all the dust down. For the soil that's getting drug up as these trucks are, driving through, and there's Arizona Industries that export down there as well. And so there's a lot going on in terms of the export industry that these associated companies are building on in Arizona, and vice versa in terms of the import-export.
Yeah, and that's why this initiative, as Eddie and you guys are mentioning, that it's the biggest challenge is the understanding the rule, and that's why I'm trying to bring the experts together, creating a platform where we can solve the basic fundamental problems, by having that kind of a people around us, accessible. That's the whole purpose of this approach. Anita,
that sounds
yeah.
good. I think Johannes Gates is someone who also is involved with logistics. Johannes, I don't know if you've met Caitlin or not, but Johannes is in the Los Angeles area. If you'd like to introduce yourself, feel free to go ahead. And if not, that's fine as well.
Hello, everyone. My name is Johannes Gates. I'm in, like Doug said, I'm in the Los Angeles industry. I am currently working in transportation and logistics, and I have 10 years of knowledge of that. And I just recently started to get into exporting, and I hear a lot of people talking about exporting. So I'm looking to connect with you guys. I'll put my information in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to mention to you, Johannes, to you before I forget, is that Los Angeles, the Global Chamber chapter of Los Angeles, will have a export league in 2025. It will follow the Phoenix Export League. We've done one before, and it was quite successful. It's sponsored by the city of Phoenix in Arizona, and so watch for that. It's kicking off on January 16th. At a big event that we're doing at Thunderbird, which is the International State of the Metro. And then it finishes up on April 24th at a Welcome to Phoenix, which is a global welcome wagon type event. So 3 months of Export League in between all of those in Phoenix. And then the Los Angeles one kicks off in March or April. So the advisory board there is working out the details of that. So welcome to, since you're getting more involved in exporting, welcome to the Southern California version of the Export League. And eventually we'll do one in Australia, I'll bet, but it's not on the radar screen yet. But Priya, undoubtedly, once she sees some of that activity, hopefully you'll get involved.
Yeah, we will be. I mean, I would love to arrange here on behalf of a chamber if required. I'm always open for this kind of opportunity.
Yeah, we have, Priya, as you already know, we have WhatsApp groups at Global Chamber. We call them the GC communities, and there's about 70 or 80 of them. Some are regional, some are topical, and we do have a topical group on logistics. And what made me think of it was we do have a topical group on exporting, and that kind of relates to Eddie's comment, and maybe some of you feel this way as well, is that the world is full of people who are very local, and they're very much focused in on what's close by. All of us should focus what's close by, or else we'll be hit by a car. We should pay attention to what's exactly all around us and our family and the dog and etc. However, it takes a little bit more vision and a lot more knowledge, I think, to Eddie's point, to export because of the regulations, because of all the more people involved, because of so many more things. And so what we're working on doing over the next 10 years, next year is our 10th anniversary at Global Chamber. Beyond 2025, for the next 10 years, our expectation is we'll continue to build the communities and the knowledge base and make it easier and easier to do global business, which is our vision, to make global business, cross-border business, as easy as selling across the street. So let's keep working on that together. And Priya, love your leadership in this area. Thank you.
No, pleasure. And I am part of that group. I keep monitoring. And that's why I don't want to be, I can't be expert in everything, but I know I live here, I can help you in this particular part of it. And that's why I'm only targeting Oceania. At least if I can master these 14 countries, I can contribute my part towards the global community. That's my whole vision as a company corporality. Great. So I think it was worth joining in and attending it. And if there is any particular feedback from anybody, that will be great. Anybody else wants to contribute anything, feel free to push forward your vision and, what do you think?
It's certainly one of the things we always like to ask is the famous Global Chamber question: who do you want to meet? And what help do you need? Is there anybody that has a burning need to meet someone in the next week or so, the next couple weeks? Anita, she's meeting too many people. But it's a good thing because she can help in so many different ways. And thank you, Anita, for your leadership. And speaking of Southern California in Los Angeles, but you're working globally. Do you or anyone else on the call need something? Most of you are Global Chamber members.
Yeah, I would actually like to be connected with US-based importers. Wherever they're importing from is fine. Love to work with people importing from Australia because I have an affinity for Australia because my niece lives there. But yeah, I'm looking to meet US-based importers.
Okay. There's an event tomorrow that I'm speaking at in Salt Lake City that is for importers in Utah. So if it's on the Global Chamber calendar. So if there is a chance for you to zoom in to that, that might be a way for you to connect up. And I'll certainly keep in mind some of the people that I meet there.
Thank you so much. I'll check the calendar after this meeting.
Anyone else? So I would like, Larry, we will set up one-to-one from my side. Ash, I would like to do one-to-one to everybody so that we can figure out if there is any possibility you can collaborate to this initiative. Also, I mean, I would like to invite more and more delegates. That's only it will be, people make things success. Leadership can be only, vision is only vision until it is actually becomes reality, right? So we need to bring it to the reality. I need the support of the people. And that's what the whole initiative, Doug decided that, we should actually let the word out, let people know what is happening. So that's where we created this platform to let people know. And any bit of support, anybody wants to join as an exhibitor, sponsors. I'm looking for import, exporter, logistics, supply chain, warehousing, GTM, market researchers, market segmentations, a technology company who is involved in this, any exporter, whether it is mining, medical, doesn't matter, any importer, exporter, we are creating this platform for. I would like to be introduced in that to make this B2B Global Conference successful.
That's great. I think one of the things we learned at our last meeting a couple of weeks ago is we've got some really interesting members and people involved with Global Chamber. One of them was the main speaker at our last event a couple of weeks ago, Kaoru Nishina Kagawa. She is a lady who works for Jetro Startups. So Jetro being the Japan External Trade Organization. And so she's based in Sydney. And one of the things I've learned about her, I knew about her, but now that she's become involved and becoming more involved with Global Chamber, she's very knowledgeable about the Australian market. And she's also very knowledgeable about Japan. And to Eddie's point, thinking about basing a business in Australia is not just always about Australia. It's at proximity to the Philippines, to Singapore, to China, to Southeast Asia, to Japan, to Korea, et cetera. So very good, cost-effective, relaxed place to live. Larry used to be really stressed out, but now he's very calm. And I love your picture, by the way, on your LinkedIn profile. That's really a good picture.
Cheers, mate. I appreciate it. Yes, Australia will definitely chill you out. I recommend everybody come down and visit.
Have you had shrimp on the Barbie yet?
I have, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Also recommended.
Fantastic. But Priya, thank you so much for pulling us together today.
No, pleasure. And I would love to continue doing this. So next time we will be soon announcing who will be the next speaker. Watch out our newsletter from Global Chamber.
Yeah, one quick question to Sue. Sue, now that you're in Australia, what are your plans? What are you looking to do? And how can we help?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. I think that's something that is still in the making. And to be honest, it could look like anything. I'm open to creating what that looks like. So
Okay.
maybe we'll have a chat offline about that.
Okay.
I can, Katie, but yeah.
Yeah, thank you for your support of Global Chamber London. And Katie, as you know, is amazing. Just got awarded something else lately, and so I actually happen to remember the next Global Chamber London event is December 17th, because we just had the November one, and it's normally the 12th, or it would probably be the 10th of December, but it's actually the 17th. So join in for UK and all the different things that are coming up at Global Chamber. Ash, great to meet you. I think we've met some others within the Stellar community. And so thank you for your global work as well. Where is Stellar not based in Melbourne, is it? Where is it based?
We actually started in Australia, but you may know Chris Dione, who's now based in the UK. He started Stellar. So we've got a crew in Melbourne, Sydney, and Brisbane, as well as obviously in the UK as well.
Beautiful.
Yep.
You remind me with Brisbane, the comment about Brisbane, Priya, for if you didn't already know this, Jason Ball is in Brisbane, and Jason is like the most connected guy in Japan as far as a gaijin. He's lived there for years. He's got a group called, I think it's called Business in Japan. He ended up leaving Tokyo and he's living in Brisbane, working in the technology industry. And so he was at our last event a couple of weeks ago, and he's very well connected now in Australia. So he's a great resource for anyone working in that side.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to meet anybody who is actually part of the chamber and also, interested in actually communicate. I would definitely love to meet all of them.
Fantastic. John, just a quick question to John. John, did you say you're in Las Vegas, right? Or not?
Las Vegas now, yeah. Yeah, it's great. If you got any conferences here, come see me. That's how I see people.
So we do have an event coming up. It's actually on January 7th as part of CES. So if any of you go to the Consumer Electronics Show, I mean, that's like one of the biggest shows of, it's sort of like the Canton Fair, in China.
Oh, yeah.
CES is amazing. So we actually have an event with the Korean government, or a Korean government, the city of Incheon, on the 7th of January. And so yesterday we had a call with Korea and we're putting it all together. So if you're going to be in Vegas on the 7th, hope to meet you there. I think I'm planning to be there.
Oh, great. Yeah, Erica told us about it at our last meeting. So it's already in my calendar. Sounds like a great event. And I'll see you then.
Fantastic. If any of you are thinking about CES or have plans, stop by on the 7th. We've got a special event planned.
Yeah, it'll be great.
Caitlin, I might see you on Thursday, or are you going to be able to break away for our board meeting by any chance? It's probably tough for you, right? It's still tough.
Yeah, business has been booming. Hired 3 new people, so I'm able to delegate more and have them take more on the operations, which does not leave me tied to a desk as much.
Wow.
So it's very exciting.
Okay, well, if you can make it, we'll be at Thunderbird, so stop by. And then afterwards, there's it's Global Entrepreneurship Week, as maybe some of you know, or maybe all of you know. And as part of that, Arizona State University has a big kind of their big event on Thursday night. So the Global Chamber Phoenix board meeting is, I think, at 3 to 4, and then from 4 to 6 or 7 is the entrepreneurship upstairs above us. We're on the first floor, and that's up at the pub, which I think definitely, Eddie, you know a little bit about the pub, I'll bet.
Quite a bit, yeah. Hold on.
Eddie is a graduate of Thunderbird.
I know about both pubs. I went to Thunderbird when it was at the old pub at the old facility, and now there's a new pub. So, yeah.
Caitlin actually worked for Thunderbird. Perhaps, I don't know, maybe at the time you were going to school. I don't know. Do you guys know each other?
Yeah, I worked at the Glendale airfield when it was there. I think I left about 13 years ago.
Okay. Yeah, I went through the executive MBA in 2012 to 14. So you left just before I started, I think.
Yeah, I probably left, I think, in 2012.
I loved it.
Yeah, no, it was a great community, and it's fun to see that they have the new building downtown now. They had to change with the times and move into that new location, much more central, but less history.
They were able to keep a lot of the mystique and just the feel, even though it's a completely different building. They did a really good job kind of maintaining it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of Japan, the new dean speaks Japanese. She lived in Japan at about the same time I did. She's pretty amazing. Sanjeev Kagram is a tough act to follow, but Charla is doing a great job. Anita Rodal is one of the other things we didn't mention about Anita is she runs the Export-Import Forum that Global Chamber runs every month. And I presume that must be coming up, right? Is that coming up this month or next?
So because my regular meeting this month would fall on Thanksgiving and my regular meeting next month would be the day after Christmas, we're kind of doing something in the middle. So nothing in November, but we're doing December 5th. And Catherine Reed will be my interviewee in the hot seat. So I put the date and time in the chat, and then you can find it on the Global Chamber calendar.
Beautiful.
Decent time for Australians, by the way, 7 in the morning. That's not bad as these things go.
Yeah, 7 a.m.
The
is
rest of the
good
year,
time.
it's at either at 6 a.m. or at 5 a.m. So join in while you can.
That is not bad. Well, thank you, Priya, for pulling this together because so many of our meetings are 8 a.m. Pacific time or 4 p.m. Pacific time. And especially this time of year, the 4 p.m. one turns out quite nicely in Australia. So we were planning already the next 2 to 3 months for Global Chamber. We have quite a few more 4 p.m. Pacific, which I think is 1 o'clock or noon Sydney. So we'll have a lot more of those. So thank you for leading us in that area.
Now that will be good. Like if we can actually bring the time zone a little bit more closer, that will be good. But I think this is a perfect time. 7 a.m. is also not bad. You know, there are a lot of BNI practitioners wake up early in the morning, so they can go at 6:30. Then why can't we do our 7 a.m. one? You know, it's a good timing.
Thanks everybody for your time. Tomorrow, I think the next event we have is the book author program. So if you're thinking about writing a book, if you're a book author, if you want to be a book author, the conversation tomorrow, I'm sure is a good one. The last one was superstar. She was Deborah Shames. She talked about storytelling. And so it wasn't just applicable to writing a book. It was also just applicable to doing pitches and selling and all the things you need to do to get people interested in what you're doing. So it's actually so good. We put it up on our blog. So if you go to the Global Chamber website, definitely that 55 minutes with Deborah is outstanding. She talks about active verbs versus dull verbs when you're speaking. And actually 2 of the verbs that I always use that are not supposed to be used are help and support. So they're the 2 most boring words perhaps in the English language because they mean nothing. Help and support. Give me action, and those are not action. So it's mainly what she was talking about was keynote speaking and also writing. But things like that and tips like that I thought were incredibly invaluable. She allowed me to get inspired to reread or re-listen to the book On Writing by Stephen King. You may or may not be a fan of Stephen King books, but I think it's indisputable he's one of the best authors historically of all time. And he wrote, I think, the definitive book on writing. It's called On Writing. And having just listened to it again, I got totally inspired to finish our book, which we're writing. And it's a lot of of understanding how to write to be able to engage with the reader instead of just falling flat. So check that out tomorrow.
Good. Yeah, we will. Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for the
Have a great
opportunity.
evening.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Have a great day in
Priya,
Australia.
please reach out. Take care.
Well.